What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to another episode of Bleeding B&G. We got an emergency podcast for you guys today because once again, like I told you guys a couple of days ago, if you haven't checked out my YouTube episode where I said that the Washington Commanders are the NFL's darling of 2024. And that statement comes into fruition once again today. With the trade deadline ending at 4 p.m. today, the Washington Commanders made the biggest splash in the entire league today. And before we get too deep into this video, and not to bury the lead, you already know what I'm going to say. Be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. On the road to 2,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without your help. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and infiltrate those comments. I love chopping it up with you guys, and without further ado, let's get into this video. To give you a timestamp, as I do for all of my videos, today is Tuesday, November the 5th, 2024. And yes, it is trade deadline day across the NFL, but it's also election day. And in honor of election day, we love everybody. Before I put this out there, I don't care about your political side. I'm not too big into politics, but to have a play off one of the prominent political figures of the 2024 election, have a play off of her words. We did it, Joe, with Junior. We did it, Joe, with Junior. And what I mean by that is my guy Adam Peters. He just left out the kitchen once again. He just left out the back. He just left out the back. Got his sous chef on today, cooking up on NFL trade deadline day. And a couple of hours ago, news broke, whether it was Adam Schefter, whether it was Ian Rappaport, or whether it was any of the NFL Network guys, Tom Pelissero, or any of the local beat guys confirming it. But news broke that our very own Washington Commanders, our beloved Washington NFL franchise, has traded for cornerback Marshawn Lynch from the New Orleans Saints. And if you can look at the screen, if you're checking us out on YouTube, the full trade packages that the New Orleans Saints get, third round pick, a Washington fourth, and then the sixth that we actually got from the John Ridgway trade. In return, we get Marshon Lattimore and the Saints' fifth round pick. And like I said, Adam Peters, you a bad motherfucker, man. If you can't tell my opinion on this trade, we won this trade. I ain't going to say a fleece because, like I said before in previous episodes, the New Orleans Saints are in cap hell. So Marshon Lattimore was like their biggest trade asset. And we gave away a pretty substantial draft capital. But let me tell you why I'm not too concerned about that. The number one reason why I'm not too concerned about that is because you're getting, at the worst, a top 12 cornerback in the entire league when healthy. And I'm not saying that's not hyperbole. I don't think I'm reaching when I say that. But Marshon Lattimore is healthy and motivated to play. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. As I said in my previous episodes, he's better than Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St. Juste could wish to be. We finally got a legit cornerback one, and this told me all that I needed to know about how Adam Peters thinks about our prospects for the 2024 season. Because if you've been checking out this channel, I've been saying it for damn near 2 months now. The Washington Commanders are Super Bowl contenders. And Adam Peters making this move today solidified his belief and my belief and gave me further validation that, we locked in. That's twin. Me and Adam Peters, that's twin. We locked in, twin. Because some of y'all came at my neck when I said that Adam Peters needed to go out and get a corner before we wasted the season. Citing that Dan Quinn said that this was a recalibration year. We're in year one of a rebuild. Well, guess what? I said that after we were 4-2. I said that when we were leading in the division, and I said that when I fully believed that we had capability of being a playoff contender, and not only being a playoff contender, but being a Super Bowl contender. You take big swings when you think you have a legit chance at winning a Super Bowl, at having a deep payoff run. And I'm going to tell you now, as long as we got number 5, Jalen Daniels, under center for the Washington Commanders in burgundy and gold, crimson and white, whatever colors we wearing right now, black, we have a shot to win a Super Bowl year in and year out. I don't want to hear that he's a rookie. Adam Peters doesn't want to hear that he's a rookie either, because guess what? He believes we got a shot now. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't have made this move today. He wouldn't have made this move today. Marshon Lattimore is 28 years old, so it's not like he's over the hill. And this is a guy that has missed some substantial amount of time over the last 2 years. I think he's missed 19 games over the last 2 years. But I think a lot of that, especially this year, with him recovering from a hamstring injury, he didn't play this last week. I think he got the Devontae Adams syndrome. And what I mean by that is that if you've been tapped into the NFL, you know Devontae Adams didn't play the last couple of weeks before he was traded, being out with a hamstring injury. And a lot of news reports were making it believe that it was a lot more important than it was. But that was just Devontae playing. That was just Devontae shooting the shit, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Legit playing with the Raiders' face. Because as soon as he got traded to the Jets with his homeboy Aaron Rodgers, he got magically healed. And I think that Marshon Lattimore is suffering from a little of Devontae Adams syndrome in that realm. And no, that's not something that you necessarily want from your guy that you're bringing in. But the New Orleans Saints are a fucking shit show. They're a shit show, losing their last 7, firing their head coach yesterday. And yeah, they're going nowhere fast. They're in cap hell. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, trading Marshon Lattimore isn't a sign of you getting rid of a guy that can't do it anymore. It's a sign that he's your best draft asset and you're getting with the little value that you can, or whatever value that you can, while you can still get it. But to the player, man, I love this. I love this move because this finally allows us to have a cornerback that can shadow elite number 1 wide receivers. And we haven't had that since D'Angelo Hall. And it's not like D'Angelo Hall was shut down by any means, but he could get you an interception every now and then. And he was better than the cornerback play that we've seen here in the last decade. But we finally got a guy that can match up with the Malik Neighbors, the A.J. Browns, the Devontae Smiths, the CeeDee Lambs of the world. And this is a press man corner. Have no doubt about it. That's what he does. And bringing in a guy like Marshon Lattimore allows you to play press man. And that's something that we know that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. want to do. And if you're like, oh, dude, you think you know ball, what makes you think they want to go do that? Go look at the film in Dallas. They damn near ran exclusively man coverage. And that's quite the contrast to what Dan Quinn did in his earlier days with the Seattle Seahawks. So he's able to fit with his personnel, but have no doubt about it, Joe Witt Jr. want to play that man coverage. And this also allows you to play single high safety and dropping down that goddamn demigod 6'3", 230-pound safety in Jeremy Chin to help supplement in the run game what you're lacking. And something needs to be done because teams are running down our throat every Sunday. No diddy. So this move is what elite players do, and Marshon Lattimore is still an elite player. While he not be at his peak, we got to understand that his peak was top 3 cornerback in the league. And that's why, we didn't trade him for a first and a second round pick. But I firmly believe that he's still a top 12 corner in the NFL, fully capable of shadowing wide receiver ones on his best day. Or on any day. On any day. Because guess what? These wide receiver ones, they're elite talents and they're going to get theirs. But a guy like Marshon Lattimore is going to make sure that they don't get theirs more often than they do. And that's a stark contrast from what we've seen at the cornerback position with Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St-Juste. Damn near pitch and catch with those guys. But like I said, elite players, they allow you to elevate not only their role on the roster, but other positions as well. Because not only do you have a cornerback 1 now, but now this slides down, Benjamin St-Juste to cover wide receiver 2s, which I think he's capable of doing when he learns how to not fucking grab a wide receiver 5 yards down the field. And we are now allowed to have Mikey Sanders still play that slot cornerback role, that nickel cornerback role, which he was drafted to do, which he was playing when Nick Saban said that he was pound for pound the best player in the draft. Don't get me wrong. I've appreciated Mikey Sanders' still services in patchwork duty playing that boundary corner, but I do think he has some physical limitations where I don't want him on the boundary for a 17-game season. But guess what? I ain't got to worry about that anymore because we got Marshon Lattimore in our burgundy and gold. Let me see. Has there been any photoshops to show that? To show my man Marshon? Have the Commanders actually dropped it? To show my man, no. But we have had the official announcement, so the trade is officially official. So Marshon Lattimore is officially a Commander. And one more thing before I get out of here, and the reason why I said that Adam Peters is a bad motherfucker, and excuse my language, but you come to Bleed and B&G for the most raw, uncut, and unfiltered analysis on your Washington Commanders. And you're going to get it every time you click on a video. The reason that I said that Adam Peters is a bad motherfucker, probably the best GM. Probably my favorite pastime right now, my favorite hobby is watching Adam Peters drag his nuts on his counterparts across the league. He did it to Howie Roseman. And I might be talking a little disrespectful, but I feel like he's got the better part of every deal that he's made since he's been in the head seat of our Washington Commanders organization. And the biggest reason why I say that is that I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the Commander logs, but if you guys can remember one of the first Commander logs they did on Adam Peters, they talked about how, or you could see how he was like so respected from the road scouts, from everybody in every position, because he's been in every position. He can relate to every position. And when we brought in Adam Peters, damn near everybody talked about how he was one of the most beloved figures in the NFL. And trades like this validate that thinking, validate those people's belief, because we've done business with the Loomises before in New Orleans, trading John Ridgeway. When we had that crowded room at the defensive tackle position when we cut down to the 53-man roster. So he has good relationships with people in the league. And don't get me wrong, despite all those good relationships, Adam Peters is going to want to come out a winner in all of these negotiations. And the verdict is in. He's come out a winner in every single last one of these moves that he's made. Adam Peters for president. That's who I casted my vote for this morning when I went to the ballot. And the last reason why I said that he's a bad motherfucker is because it looks like we gave up some pretty substantial, trade compensation. Or draft compensation, when it says that we gave up a 3rd round pick, we gave up our 4th round pick and a 6th round pick as well. But we also bought in a 5th, so it's like a 3-2 asset trade. So that kind of cancels out the 6th round pick because the New Orleans Saints had it at first. But if I can, because we really know ball over here at Bleed and B&G. The New Orleans Saints are a shit show right now, right? And that 5th round pick that they have might be at the top of the 5th round. And if we keep going at the rate that we're going at 7-2, being playoff contenders and Super Bowl contenders, I know that's crazy as shit to say. That 4th round pick that we gave to the New Orleans Saints today is going to be at the bottom of the 4th round. So we essentially gave up a pick that's not going to be more or less 10 picks apart from each other. So it looks like we gave up a pick with a round difference, but I don't want you to look at it that way. Those picks are essentially going to be within 7 to 10 picks apart because the Saints are in full tank mode and we're in full go get a Super Bowl this year mode. And then that 3rd round pick, remember we did get a 3rd round pick when we traded Jahan Dotson to the Philadelphia Eagles when Adam Peters dragged his nuts on the GM yet again. But that 3rd round pick that we gave to the Philadelphia Eagles is our 3rd round pick. And the 3rd round pick that we got from the Philadelphia Eagles is actually the Dolphins' 3rd round pick. And they're a shit show right now as well with only 2 wins. And we gave the Saints our 3rd round pick. So we gave them the worst of the 3rd round picks that we had. And yeah, finesse God. Finesse God, Adam Peters does it again. Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, 2024, and Jaden Daniels, you the GOAT. I think I just needed to say that before I had it out of here. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Let me know what you think about this trade. As always, if you're not tuned into us on social media, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to go ahead and do that now. Our Twitter is at BleedingBNG, BLEEDIN BNG. Our Instagram is spelled a tad bit different. That's BLEEDING BNG. As always, you can listen to us on all audio only platforms, such as Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And yeah, the Washington Commanders are one of the most pristine organizations in the NFL in 2024. What a 12-month change it's been. I was crying at Thanksgiving dinner last year. Now I'm about to be stunting. I might wear some Celine shades at Thanksgiving because you ain't gonna be able to tell me shit when we go in there at what? How many games we got till then? At 9-2, 9-2 going into Thanksgiving Day, knowing that I'm gonna be beating the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys right after or right before. Yeah, yeah. Great vibes around Washington. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I'll check in on y'all on the flip side.